Hi there, my name's Alex. I'm a designer and I commute to work every day on my bicycle. I've been selected by Clas Ohlson to be one of their Clas Acts, and today I'm going to show you how to change a bicycle tyre. So, the first step is to slacken off your brake. On this particular brake, you just undo this nut here. On other brakes, you might have to slacken the cable off by undoing the nut or undo part of the mechanism. So with that slack, we take the correct spanner for your wheel. In this case, it's 14mm. And we just slacken off those nuts. Okay, with that slack, drop the wheel out. So you take your dust cap off, followed by the little nut there which holds the valve in position, and then release the pressure out of the wheel. Okay, with the tyre depressurise, you take a set of tyre levers. You can do it without tyre levers, but in this case, I'm going to use a set of tyre levers. Okay, the first stage is to pop the levering end underneath one edge of the tyre. It's very important to make sure you only get the tyre, not the inner tube inside, if you are not going to be replacing that. So, one either side there, and just clip those around like that. And then you can take a third and just run it around the outside of the rim, like so. And that's your tyre pretty much off. So, next step is to take your inner tube out. We'll be discarding that one because it's finished. And then literally just pull your tyre off the rim. Take your new inner tube, take the nut off, and keep that somewhere safe. Then pick up the pump, and it's always easier if you put a little bit of air in, just helps you fit the tyre back into position. Doesn't need to be very much, just enough to give it a bit of shape. So, we'll take our new tyre. It's always a good idea to check on the inside with your fingers just to make sure there's nothing sharp in there that might burst. You can also look and see if your tyre has a rotation mark, indicates which way the tyre should spin. Most tyres have it, and it's usually in the form of a little arrow indicating which way the wheel's going to rotate. So once you've found that, the next step is to fit your tyre, or the first edge of your tyre, back over the rim. So just pop it over like that. And run your fingers round until it's seated. Okay, so we now take our inner tube. So the first step is to find the hole. We just push the valve through there. And then work the inner tube into the tyre and actually down into the base of the rim if you can. And this prevents the inner tube getting trapped and punctured when you come to fit the other side of the tyre over. Okay, with the inner tube seated inside your wheel, the next thing to do is to start lifting the edge of the tyre back over. So the first step is to put that edge of the tyre over, and then it's always a good idea to push the valve up to ensure that you can get that edge of the tyre seated properly in the rim. You can then pull it down, that holds it in position. Bringing that edge back over until the tyre snaps back over into the rim. With that done, we pump the tyre back up to pressure. It usually indicates on the side of the tyre what pressure the wheel should be at. So the next stage is to fit the wheel back onto the bicycle. Again, make sure you've got the rotation the right way around, and you then push the wheel back up into the forks, ensuring that the washers sit either side underneath the nut on the outside of the fork lugs. We've then got to make sure the wheel's centred and seated correctly in the bottom of the forks. Once you've done that, you can take your spanner and tighten your wheel back into position. Okay, so our final step is to tense the brake back up. On this particular brake, I said it's just this nut here. On others, it might be slackening the cable off or taking that little mechanism apart at the top. That's it. That's how you change your bicycle tyre. On the back wheel, it's pretty much exactly the same. It depends on the kind of bike. If you've got a geared bike, you just need to make sure that the back wheel is seated properly in the frame and that you put the chain back around as it was when you took it off. If you've got a single speed like this one, you just need to make sure that you've pulled the wheel back far enough so the chain is tense. And that's it.